number one. Aha, you got it. No, fact number one, seriously, is that our government spent $710 million in losses as a result of Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Matthew. $710 million in losses in both infrastructure and job employment opportunities. I'm in Grand Bahama, so I know you know the reality of this situation. Fact number two is that by the year 2030, it is anticipated that we will lose over 800 million jobs to robotic automation. 800 million jobs gone. Now that's the entire population of Europe, and it will disappear by 2030. Fact number three is that if we are going to combat the challenges that we find as a result of jobs that are either lost due to natural disasters, as we've seen, or jobs lost to automation, we have to retrain ourselves. I want to share an idea with you, and my former principal is sitting in the row, so I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But I believe that if we are going to not only survive the future, but thrive, we must all become C students. That's right, C students. Now, when I speak about becoming a C student, and I consider that that population in Europe, which will totally be decimated by this job loss is happening, I consider a country like Finland. And Finland has said that we will not take this lying down. We are going to do something about our system, and they have changed their education to encourage C students. Not in the traditional way that one may think. You see, when I talk about becoming a C student, I'm talking about shifting our system completely from one of competition with grade ranges altogether and focusing on 5 points: creativity, collaboration, character, critical thinking, and of course, communication. As I mentioned, Finland has already taken steps to do this. And by 2020, their entire system would have been transformed so that they're no longer teaching subjects like physics or geography, but they're creating new courses like cafeteria kitchen management and how to be the best cook. They're doing that so that they can teach students practical ways to apply the 5 points that I already talked to you about. When the world heard about this, people started blogging, people started writing, they started asking questions, and they contacted the development education manager for Finland. And she said, for us it was simple. We realized that there was no longer a need for bank tellers. So why were we teaching kids how to count numbers by sheets when there are advanced computer automation systems that already do these things? We have to teach our kids something that machines don't do. I begin with the word creative because I believe that that is the first step in ensuring our future. When I think about the ages gone by, the centuries that have passed, the great works of art that still stand, the great literature that still stands, all come from creative spaces. And I believe that if we are going to retrain ourselves, we have to find that creative niche in all of us. And it exists. You see, what our school system has taught us over the years is that we should color inside the line and not outside of them. They've told us that we can't paint the sky purple or the grass as orange. And in doing so, they've removed that creativity. But today I want to encourage you to find the thing that makes you feel like you're on fire in a good way. Find the creative niche that can set yourself and your business apart. In my own life, I've taken my ability to speak and turned it into a career. So I host a television show, I'm online as a blogger, I have my own social media company. If you need help with social media, you can see me after, we'll talk about it. It's called the Social Life Media, shameless plug. And I've also become what is called a social media influencer. Now for those of you that may not know social media as much as my mom, I want you to understand that there are literally billions of people online. Back in 2017, Facebook had 700 million. What I've been able to do is to monetize the people that follow me online and get companies to pay me to talk about how awesome they are. And I also get free products. It's actually really cool and a really cool way to make money. Last year, a 6-year-old boy by the name of Ryan has a YouTube channel called Ryan's Toys Reviews. and Ryan made $11 million by simply opening toys online. Ryan's $11 million was smidgens in comparison to the $26 million made by a local video gamer who said that playing games would change the way that we operate in the future, and carried home $26 million by playing games online. When we get creative, which is our first point, and then we use our second point, which is collaborate with technology, we have the opportunity to retrain ourselves and to create new opportunities. Technology has done amazing things for us. This year alone, they've been able to reverse the aging process in mice. Now, this doesn't mean that y'all are gonna live forever, guys, I'm sorry. But what it does mean is that they're now finding ways to try to help and cure things like Alzheimer's. Technology has done that. Technology is a good thing when we collaborate with it creatively. And so the next point that I have for you as we go into this new age is to ask you, how are you collaborating with technology? Are your businesses online? Are your hiring processes online? Are your resumes updated? If you need to update your resume or retrain yourself, have you taken advantage of the free courses offered online by sites like Coursera? All of these things are available to you once you begin to collaborate with technology. In fact, one of my favorite authors, Dan Brown, this year wrote a book called Origins. And in Origins, he says that the future is so infused with technology that life as Homo sapiens as we know it is going to come to an end. And so just like there was a period for the Neanderthal, there will come a period when the Homo sapiens that we are no longer exist, and that we become infused with technology, creating a new species of human. It may sound far-fetched, a bit scientific, but think about it. Many of us wear smartwatches. Many people we know have pacemakers. Many people we know have rods in their legs. We are literally becoming human and machine. Now, Dan Brown's book got a little out there because the creator of the book in this story creates this amazing computer that is able to help him with everything. This computer that he created, he's created specifically because he wants to share a new scientific idea with the world. And he tells the computer, figure out the best way for the entire world to find out my idea and to believe it for the rest of their lives. The computer says, okay. And then the computer did something rather interesting. The computer had him assassinated. Sounds a bit dark, but bear with me. The reason the computer did that is because through all the knowledge that we put into machines, the computer realized that the only way for an idea to carry on is to have a motto. Jesus Christ's ideas still live on, Martin Luther King's ideas still live on, and so based on the computer's ability to compute, the best way for this idea to live on was for the originator to die. You see, what computers cannot do that we can is think critically. And that is point number 3 in becoming a C student. As we separate ourselves from machines, our ability to think critically is going to matter even more. So work on those critical thinking skills. The next thing that machine lacked was the ability to have character. And character is huge. Jack Ma, who's the founder of Alibaba, he's the 18th richest man in the world and the richest man in China, says that the only difference between us and machines is our heart. And so what is it about our heart that is going to allow us to control these machines in the future? We have to think about that. China has taken this idea of character so seriously that by 2020, they will have implemented what they call a social credit score. Now, I know you've all heard of freecreditreport.com, right? I'm not talking about that type of credit score. This is a social score. And even though it's a bit sketchy on the details and how they measure it, we gather that we will have bunches of data on every citizen in China that will let us know whether this person is trustworthy enough to do business with. It marks you down for things like smoking in a no smoking zone, or for parking in the wrong spot, running a red light, And it also does things like consider whether or not you paid fake news online. And we know that fake news has caused some stuff to happen in an election, so given that, that's very important to character. But seriously, consider it. Your character's credit score will determine whether or not people can do business with you. In my daughter's lifetime, she's 8 months old now, she will not know a world with money. Cryptocurrencies will become something real in her lifetime. But what if it moved from cryptocurrency to character trading? Could you trade on your good name? What does character say about you? And what will it say about you in this automation age? The final thing that is critically important, it's something that you must know, and it's something that is very real for me, is the idea that we must continue to communicate. Today, there are 2.5 billion cell phones in the hands of people around the world. How many of you used WhatsApp before you got here? Be honest, come on now. In reality, when I was leaving university, there was a technician coming in to remove all of the phones because people no longer needed them. In Britain, they've actually removed those cute little red boxes that we're used to and replaced them with Wi-Fi centers. Communication has changed significantly, and in doing so, some people have fallen behind. They've become recluses who would rather sit behind a computer than speak face to face. But in this coming age of automation, the people that can still communicate effectively will be the people whose lives are not as severely impacted in a negative way. You see, I've taken you through some very important steps tonight. Steps so wonderful that my daughter is crying. But they are critical to understanding how you will thrive in the future. You must become a C student, Ms. Doherty, a C student, one that is filled with creativity, one that is willing to collaborate with technology, one that is willing to think critically, one that has character, and one that is communicating. Now, I've shared this with you, and I need to know that you've heard it because I need you to be prepared for the coming age. So I'm going to ask you to stand for me. And when you stand, I want you to know that you are embarking on a journey to becoming a C student. Remember that we have to communicate, which means you have to be able to listen. Remember that this is going to be a creative exercise in that. Remember that I am calling on you to collaborate and to think critically. And remember that if you don't do what I'm saying, you are poor character. So on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to clap one time, just one time. Example, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. You can see, listen, this is why I love Grand Bahama. We're going to do it together one more time. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the standing ovation. With a community like you, the robots will never carry me. Thank you all.